Nature is one of the most beautiful yet dangerous places on Earth. It is filled with landscapes that can take your breath away, golden savannas stretching as far as the eye can see, rainforests alive with color and sound, oceans with endless depths, and frozen tundras glistening under the light of the sun. But behind all this beauty lies an unforgiving truth. Life in the wild is a constant battle for survival. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, is caught in a never-ending game where each day brings new risks. Some are hunters, others are hunted, and some are both depending on the day and the circumstances. The weak can quickly fall to the strong, and the slow can easily become a meal for the fast. Yet despite the seeming simplicity of this predator and prey relationship, the wild is full of surprises. Not every predator gets to win, and not every prey animal goes down without a fight. Some creatures have evolved astonishing defenses, turning the tables on those who try to attack them. They might carry toxic skin that poisons their enemies, flesh that tastes so foul that even the hungriest hunter spits it out, or camouflage so perfect it makes them vanish from sight. Others have armor-like shells, powerful kicks, or the ability to explode into sudden bursts of movement that stun would-be attackers. These adaptations make them far more dangerous to eat than to leave alone, and they force even the boldest predators to think twice before attacking. One of the clearest examples of this reversal comes from the rugged islands of Indonesia, where a predator that usually has nothing to fear met its match in the most unexpected way. The Komodo dragon is a giant among lizards, often called a living dinosaur because of its size, strength, and ancient lineage. It walks with a slow, deliberate swagger, the way only a creature without natural enemies can. Measuring up to 3 meters in length and weighing around 75 kilograms, the Komodo dragon is built for dominance. Its scaly skin looks like it was forged from stone, its muscular body ripples with power, and its gaze is cold and calculating. Scientists first documented the Komodo dragon in 1910, though locals had known of its existence for centuries, telling stories of its power and ferocity. Fossil records suggest that its ancestors roamed Australia about 4 million years ago before moving to Indonesia. Once there, it became the undisputed top predator of its habitat. Komodo dragons are carnivores through and through. They will eat almost anything they can overpower: deer, wild boar, smaller dragons, and even carrion. They are patient hunters, often stalking their prey before launching into a sudden sprint and delivering a devastating bite. Their teeth are as sharp as knives, and their mouths harbor venom that prevents blood from clotting, slowly weakening their victims until they can no longer escape. Their sense of smell is extraordinary, allowing them to detect the scent of a carcass from several kilometers away. They are also capable of reproducing without a mate, a process called parthenogenesis, ensuring their survival even when population numbers are low. Despite their dominance, life for a Komodo dragon is harsh. Young dragons spend their early years climbing trees to escape the cannibalistic adults who will not hesitate to eat them. Only a small percentage survive long enough to grow into the fearsome adults that roam the islands. But even the king of its domain can make a fatal mistake. On one hot day, a Komodo dragon wandered near the shoreline in search of food. The sun beat down on the sand, and the smell of the ocean mixed with the faint scent of something that caught his attention, the scent of a stranded Murray eel. Murray eels are strange and powerful predators of the sea, with bodies like thick, muscular snakes and jaws lined with sharp teeth. Inside their throats, hidden from sight, is a second set of jaws called pharyngeal jaws that can snap forward to pull prey deeper into their mouths. They are ambush hunters, often hiding in rocky crevices, waiting for fish to come close before striking with lightning speed. But Murray eels also have a hidden defense that makes them dangerous to eat: a coating of toxic mucus that covers their skin. This mucus can sicken or even kill predators that try to consume them. For many animals, biting into a Murray eel is like biting into poison. The Komodo dragon saw the eel lying motionless on the sand and moved closer. He nudged it with his snout, but it didn't move. Assuming it was dead, he took a bite. The taste was strange and bitter, but hunger overpowered his hesitation. On his third bite, he swallowed the eel whole. For a moment, he thought he had one. But then his body reacted violently. The toxins in the eel's skin triggered intense vomiting. Within minutes, he was retching so hard that the eel came back up, completely undigested. The dragon stood there for a moment, breathing heavily, his pride shattered. He had been beaten not by strength, but by a defense he could neither see nor overcome. He turned and slunk away, his belly still empty, the eel left for the tide to reclaim. Across the ocean in the vast grasslands of Africa, another predator was preparing for the hunt. The sun blazed high overhead, casting shimmering heat waves across the plains. A lioness crouched low in the grass, her golden fur blending perfectly with the dry vegetation. Lions are apex predators, feared by almost every animal in their range. But even for them, hunting is not easy. A lioness hunting alone succeeds in only about 15 to 25% of her attempts. She relies on stealth and careful planning, closing the distance to her prey before launching a short, powerful sprint. Her target today was part of a mixed herd of wildebeests and zebras grazing nearby. Among them was a young zebra foal, and the lioness's eyes locked onto it. Zebras may be plant eaters, but they have more than just speed to protect them. They have excellent eyesight and hearing, and their striped coats can confuse predators by making it difficult to pick out a single target when the herd is moving. Their legs are powerful, capable of delivering a kick strong enough to break a predator's jaw or ribs. The lioness crept forward, each paw placed with precision, her body low to the ground. The herd grazed, unaware of the danger creeping closer. Then, in an instant, she burst from the grass, muscles surging with power. The herd exploded into motion, hooves pounding the earth, dust swirling into the air. The foal ran as fast as it could, but the lioness was closing the gap. She lunged, her jaws snapping shut around the foal's neck. Victory seemed certain. But the foal's mother had other plans. In a flash, she wheeled around and charged toward the lioness. Without slowing, she delivered a devastating kick to the predator's face. The impact was so strong that the lioness staggered backward, releasing her grip. The foal scrambled to its feet and raced away beside its mother. The lioness stood still for a moment, shaken, her hunt ruined. This was not just a failed hunt, it was a reminder of the fierce power of a mother's love, a force strong enough to challenge even the deadliest predators. Elsewhere in the savannah, a group of lions was on another hunt, this time targeting a herd of Cape buffalo. Buffaloes are among the most dangerous animals in Africa, not just because of their size and strength, but because of their unpredictable nature. A full-grown buffalo can weigh over 900 kilograms, and their sharp horns and muscular bodies make them formidable opponents. When threatened, a herd will often band together to protect its members, but if one is separated, it becomes vulnerable. The lions charged into the herd, causing chaos and scattering the animals in all directions. In the confusion, a young buffalo calf became separated from the others. The lions quickly surrounded it, their tails flicking, ready to move in for the kill. The calf was helpless, its sides heaving with fear. But just as the lions prepared to strike, a lioness from another pride appeared, drawn by the commotion and the scent of an easy meal. She approached with boldness, but the hunting pride was not willing to share. One of the lionesses lunged at the intruder, and within seconds, the hunt dissolved into a violent fight between the two prides. Roars echoed across the plains, and dust swirled as the lions clashed. In the middle of the chaos, the calf saw its chance. Summoning every bit of strength it had left, it stumbled to its feet and ran. Limping and injured, it pushed forward until it reached the safety of its herd. It was a miraculous escape, a reminder that sometimes survival comes not from strength or speed, but from the unpredictable turns of fate. The wild is full of such stories, moments where the expected outcome is overturned, where the hunter becomes the hunted, or where prey fights back in ways no one could have predicted. In the dense jungles of South America, there are frogs so toxic that even touching them can be deadly. In the icy waters of the Arctic, seals outmaneuver polar bears by diving into freezing seas where the bears cannot follow quickly enough. In the forests of Asia, small birds chase away hawks many times their size by banding together in coordinated attacks. Each of these moments adds to the endless drama of nature. Survival is never guaranteed, and the balance of power shifts with every encounter. Sometimes the difference between life and death is a mother's determination, a hidden chemical defense, a stroke of luck, or the mistake of an overconfident predator. This unpredictability is what makes the wild so endlessly fascinating, a place where every day writes a new and unexpected chapter in the story of life. In the wild, life is a constant test of strength, skill, and survival. Every heartbeat is a chance to win or lose. For some animals, survival depends on raw power. For others, it's all about speed, intelligence, and timing. But sometimes, survival comes down to something much more mysterious: luck and the perfect moment. If these animals could tell their stories, they would pass them down to their young as lessons of courage, persistence, and quick thinking. One such story belongs to a buffalo that found itself in the middle of chaos. In a world where the strong usually dominate, this buffalo's survival didn't come from brute force but from pure timing and a twist of fate. Sometimes, when predators fight among themselves or get distracted, even the weakest prey can walk away with a second chance at life. On that day, the buffalo sensed the danger, felt fear running through its body, but then did something unexpected, something that would turn its fate completely around. Because in the wild, miracles never ask permission. They happen without warning, and they don't always make sense. Far away from the buffalo's lucky escape, another intense scene unfolded, this time between wildebeests and lions. Lions are born hunters, and lionesses in particular are masters of working together. They have perfected the art of the ambush. One will approach the prey openly, pushing it to run in a certain direction, straight into the waiting claws and teeth of the others hidden in the grass. This teamwork increases their chances of a successful hunt. Wildebeests are a favorite target, especially during the Great Migration when millions of them travel together across dangerous territory. In that season, lion prides feast easily. But on this day, their target was no ordinary wildebeest. The chase began with a lioness closing in from behind while two more lay in wait ahead. It looked like the end. The trap was perfect. But the wildebeest was driven by the most powerful force in nature, the will to survive. Without slowing down, it pushed its body to the limit and leapt high into the air, soaring clean over the lionesses waiting in ambush. The jump wasn't random, it came from instinct honed over generations. Wildebeests are used to jumping rivers as wide as 10 feet during migration, and this skill suddenly became the difference between life and death. But the lions were not ready to give up. Stunned but still hungry, they chased after it with renewed determination. More lionesses joined the pursuit, turning it into a dangerous game of speed and endurance. This time, another ambush formed ahead, but the wildebeest didn't leap, it swerved sharply, plunging into a shallow pool of water and slipping away to safety on the other side. Once again, the hunters were left behind, watching their meal vanish. That wildebeest proved that even when you're surrounded and outnumbered, quick thinking can flip the script. In the endless struggle of the African plains, it's not always the strongest that survive, but the most unpredictable. In another corner of the wild, a hungry lion decided to take on a buffalo calf. To most predators, buffalo calves are vulnerable targets. But buffalo herds are different from many other animals, they protect their young with absolute loyalty. When one is in danger, the whole herd can turn into a wall of horns and muscle. This lion approached carefully, waiting for the right moment to pounce on the calf that had wandered slightly away from the group. But what the lion didn't see was the adult buffalo watching from nearby. The moment the predator sprang into action, the buffalo charged with full force, lowering its massive horns. In one explosive move, it smashed into the lion, tossing it high into the air. The calf's cry alerted the rest of the herd, and soon dozens of buffalo thundered toward the predator. Most of the lions scattered, but the one who had attacked found itself trapped. Again and again, the buffalo rammed into it, sending it rolling across the dirt. Even when the lion tried to retreat, the buffalo struck again, making sure the threat was gone. By the end, the lion lay on the ground, bruised, exhausted, and humiliated. In that battle, the message was clear: in a buffalo herd, an attack on one is an attack on all. High in the rugged landscapes of South America, another battle played out between a guanaco, a wild relative of the llama, and a puma. Guanacos can run fast, reaching speeds of up to 60 km per hour, but a puma can go even faster, up to 80. Normally, that difference makes the guanaco's escape nearly impossible. But this time, the odds weren't as one-sided. The puma had cubs to feed, so failure wasn't an option, but she was not in peak condition. Still, she launched into the chase. With a sudden leap, she landed on the guanaco's side, claws digging deep. For a moment, it seemed like the end. But the guanaco fought back fiercely, kicking with its powerful legs and twisting its body to break free. One of its kicks struck the puma hard, stunning her just enough to let the guanaco escape. The predator was left crouching in the dirt, panting from the effort, her cubs watching from a distance. Hunger would have to wait. For the guanaco, it was proof that strength of will can sometimes outweigh even the sharpest claws and fastest speed. Not all predators live on land. In the rivers and watering holes of Africa, crocodiles wait patiently for the perfect moment to strike. Their ambush is almost always fatal: one sudden lunge, a crushing bite, and the victim rarely escapes. But when a crocodile decided to grab the trunk of a baby elephant, it miscalculated badly. The calf squealed in panic, pulling desperately to get free. Before the crocodile could drag it into deeper water, a massive adult elephant charged forward. With one powerful stomp, the crocodile released its grip and slid back into the water, injured and defeated. In another case, a baby elephant didn't need help at all. When a crocodile grabbed its trunk, the calf fought back on its own, striking with its legs, swinging its trunk, and refusing to be pulled under. Eventually, it broke free and ran to safety. For the crocodiles, these encounters were painful lessons. Elephants, even the young ones, are not easy meals. In yet another part of the wild, a honey badger faced off with a male leopard. Honey badgers are famous for their toughness, aggression, and refusal to back down from any fight. They've been known to survive venomous snake bites and to take on predators far larger than themselves. This honey badger could have run when the leopard approached, but instead it stood its ground. The leopard pounced, trying to end the fight quickly, but the honey badger twisted and snapped back, refusing to give in. The fight went on and on, claws slashing, teeth tearing, until finally the honey badger's strength began to fade. The leopard won in the end, but it was not the easy victory it had expected. The cost of winning was high, and for the honey badger, it was proof that even in defeat, bravery leaves its mark. Some stories in the wild are almost too cruel to believe. An impala once escaped the crushing jaws of a crocodile after minutes of thrashing, only to leap onto land and run straight into the claws of a leopard. In the animal kingdom, there is no rule that says one danger at a time. Escaping one predator can mean running directly into another. That day, freedom was just a brief moment between two different kinds of danger. Other escapes are nothing short of incredible. A rabbit being chased by an eagle, a predator with lightning-fast dives, dodged at the last possible second. The eagle's talons missed by inches, and the sudden miss sent the bird crashing into the ground. Before it could take off again, the rabbit was already gone. Speed helped, but what saved the rabbit was its awareness and split-second reaction. In South Carolina, an alligator learned that not every prey is easy to swallow. It had caught a turtle and clamped down with its bone-crushing jaws, certain it would crack the shell in moments. But the turtle's armor, perfected over millions of years, was too strong. No matter how the alligator bit or shifted its grip, the shell held firm. Eventually, the alligator gave up, and the turtle calmly walked away. Some prey even have weapons built into their bodies. Porcupines, with their sharp quills, are dangerous to attack. Leopards that tried to hunt them ended up with bleeding paws and no meal. The porcupines simply kept turning their backs, presenting a wall of spines to any incoming strike. In the end, the predators had no choice but to retreat. And then there are those moments when the hunted turns into the attacker. A gazelle once fought back against a cheetah that had already caught it. With a sudden burst of strength, it shook the predator off and struck with its sharp horns, injuring it badly enough to escape. For the cheetah, the day went from certain victory to painful defeat in seconds. Even smaller predators like cats can misjudge their prey. A domestic cat, confident and playful, approached a snake as if it were just another toy. At first, it seemed to have control, batting at the snake and making it coil defensively. But the snake waited patiently for the perfect moment and struck with lightning speed, sinking its fangs into the cat's face. Within minutes, the venom took effect. In the wild, overconfidence is as deadly as any predator. Every one of these stories carries the same truth out here: there are no guarantees. Sometimes the hunter wins, sometimes the hunted escapes, and sometimes both walk away wounded. In nature, survival is not about fairness or mercy. It is about moments when instinct, timing, and sometimes pure luck decide who lives to see another sunrise.